You are a threat to society, and you've shown no remorse for what you did to Josie.
He was a friend of her mother. He drugged her, went into her bedroom, and raped her while she was alive and awake.
And these actions killed her. Her body went through such a traumatic response. Her body shut down because it could not sustain the trauma of the.
There are so many stories about men specifically dating single mothers just to get to their children. On the outside, they act like the perfect man, when really their sole purpose is to permanently ruin the innocence of children. Welcome to my channel, everyone. Courtney Elise here, aka Court Crimes TV. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and comment. Also, hit that notification bell. That way you'll know every time I upload. Let's get into the video. July 7th, 2023, Lakeisha Stewart would wake up in the middle of the night and realize her boyfriend Robert Fisher wasn't lying in bed next to her. She would get up only to find him in the living room, lying on the sofa, naked, scrolling through his phone. I want to add that she has only known this man for less than a week, and her 3-year-old baby girl, Josefina, is asleep in the next room. I guess, not too bothered by this man's actions, she gets a towel and throws it on him and goes back to sleep. The next morning, Lakeisha would go and check on Josefina, only to find her dead. 3-year-old Josefina had been strangled, beaten, and brutally raped. How could this happen, and who would do this to a 3-year-old baby? Well, the day before, on July 6th, Lakeisha had to run errands that night. She didn't want Josie to come with her because it was too late, so she decided to leave her in the care of Robert Fisher. Let me reiterate, she had only been knowing this man for a week. The two were introduced the week before by some neighbors. Back to the story. She trusted this man to watch her daughter. When she got back home, she claimed she checked on Josie, only to see she was sound asleep in her room. I'll put that into question later on into this video. She herself would go to sleep with her boyfriend, and that's when in the middle of the night she'd wake up to find Robert naked in the living room. They would end up calling the police, and when police arrived, an investigation would ensue. Josie's brother Jaquan would soon arrive, and it was chaos, total disarray. The family was everywhere crying. One person he noticed wasn't around was Robert, so he asked his mother where he was, and she told him that Robert had to be thrown to the ground and arrested because he was trying to interfere with the investigation. When police arrived, Robert was sweeping and mopping and using excessive amounts of bleach to clean the house. This was interfering with any evidence they could have possibly found to figure out what actually happened to Josie. And when they arrived, he wouldn't stop cleaning, so they had to tackle him to the ground and apprehend him. Meanwhile, at Albany Medical Center, Josie would be pronounced dead. Back at the police station, Robert would be questioned, and the story he would tell is sick and just pure evil, to say the least. Robert would tell them that on the night of July 6th, when Lakeisha went to the store, he took the medicine prescribed to Lakeisha and crushed it up and put it in Josie's sippy cup for her to drink. Once Josie was fully out of it, he then went into her bedroom and proceeded to brutally SA her. The assault on her was so bad that her bed sheets and clothes were covered in blood. Mind you, Josie was alive during all of this, but was so medicated up, she couldn't run away or fight back. Not to say that a 3-year-old baby could possibly overpower a full-grown man, but I'm adding this because there was no way she could have screamed. There was no way she could have ran away because he drugged her up so much. In the process of brutally raping this little girl, Robert was choking her, and Josie would die. In an attempt to get rid of his DNA, Robert would scrub her body with Clorox wipes. He also shoved Clorox wipes inside of her as well. He scrubbed Josie's skin so hard that the chemicals from the wipes discolored her skin. Her skin was grayish, and she had blue spots all over her.
Her body shut down because it could not sustain the trauma of the.
He tried to cover it up, scrubbing her face so hard with Clorox wipes, he burned the pigment off her face. He even put Clorox wipes inside her.
A deeper look at the house yielded that there was blood on Baby Shark's sheets in Josie's room, the defendant's bloody underwear, countless bloody towels.
He said almost nothing in court.
He would then stage her body by laying her on her back with her arms folded across her torso. This is why I questioned if Josie's mother really went in and fully checked on this child when she came back home from the store, because Josie was dead by the time she came back home. And I also want to add that when Robert was naked scrolling through his phone, Robert had videoed the entire assault on Josie, and what he was doing was deleting video and photographic evidence off of his phone. That morning she caught him. On September 10th, 2024, Robert Fisher was sentenced to 20 years to life behind bars.
What Mr. Fisher did on that night. And when our initial responders showed up to the scene and they made contact with Josefina, they described her as being laid in bed on her back with her hands folded across her torso as if she was staged.
But the significant bruising on her hips, inner thighs, and buttocks told a different story. Fisher was sentenced to 20 years to life behind bars.
Judge Deborah Young said the following to Robert: "You are a threat to society, and you show no remorse for what you did to Josie. It is my duty to impose a sentence that reflects the seriousness of your actions and protect society from the harm you demonstrated yourself are capable of inflicting." Robert would keep his head down for the duration of the sentencing. He also chose not to speak as well. On behalf of the family, the attorney would speak, stating, "Hours before her murder, she was seen on video footage at her daycare running around on the playground smiling and laughing with her peers, doing what children should be doing. This is how her family, friends, and the community should remember Josie, a carefree and happy child." The police chief, Warren Famigletti, I know I butchered that name so bad, referred to him as a monster and also stated, "It is my sincere hope that Robert Fisher never gets the opportunity to take a peaceful breath on this earth for the damage he inflicted on so many people, including Josefina, to a minimum be in agony for the rest of his life." Well, Robert's life would come to an end because 1 month into his sentence, he would be found dead in his cell. How he died hasn't been released. I personally hope an inmate or a few inmates brutally violated him to the point to where his aim prolapsed, okay? I hope his death was not a suicide. I hope his death was a brutal, long and torturous homicide.
Rensselaer police say they are not surprised that Robert Fisher died at the Elmira Correctional Facility this week.
That breaking update was first on 13 last night. Fisher only spent a few weeks behind bars after he was just convicted of murdering and raping little Josefina Cunningham. She was just 3 years old.
News Channel 13's Tessa Ventulin is now here live with us to share what police told her today. Tessa.
Hi, Rachel and Steve. Well, the Rensselaer police chief says they were informed about Fisher's death, but they're in the dark when it comes to how Fisher died. That's being investigated by the Department of Corrections and Community Services. Police Chief Warren Famigletti says it's a difficult situation for everybody involved because of the trauma this horrific death has for the family and the investigators who worked closely on this case. Hearing about Fisher's death brings that trauma back for so many. Fisher's death comes 6 weeks after he was just sentenced to 20 years to life in prison for Josefina Cunningham's death. He pled guilty to rape and killing little Josefina here on your screen in Rensselaer in July 2023. The details of Josefina's attack are horrific. I also got to catch up with Josefina's older brother, Jaquan Stewart. He says his sweet and smart little sister who loved Baby Shark deserved to grow up and live a full life. Stewart tells us what he and his mother thought about Fisher's death.
My mom was very shocked and she's relieved. You know, she's dead. She's happy that she's dead. A lot of people are happy that he's dead. I was very shocked because I really wanted a death penalty, and I was hoping he can serve his life sentence 20 years.
Josefina Catherine Cunningham was a precious baby girl. She was also a fighter. She defied odds, being born with a hole in her heart. Prayers were answered when that hole miraculously healed. Her brother Jaquan said she dreamed of becoming a firefighter. He said she had a vibrant spirit and sweet demeanor. It is so sad that this 3-year-old baby's life was taken away when she fought so hard just to be here. It's sad that a man who her mother had only known for less than a week came into her life and took her out in the most brutal and sinister way. I'm not trying to doubt the mother's grief because I know she feels some type of guilt. She has to, because she did not know this man. But our discernment has to be top notch when it comes to our children. You cannot trust a man who you've only known for less than a week. You've never met him a day in your life with your 3-year-old child. You cannot do that. You never know what someone's initial motive is when they come into your life, and especially when you have children. I just wanted to throw that out there. Her brother Jaquan said the song that reminds him of his baby sister is the song by Aretha Franklin, Walk in the Light. Specifically, the lyrics, walk in the light, beautiful light. Come where the dewdrops of mercy shine bright. O Lord, shine all around us by day and by night. O Lord, Jesus is the light of the world. Josie, may you rest in peace.